The greater glory, Christ the builder of the house. Hebrews 3 verses 3 to 4. Yet Jesus is worthy of more glory than Moses, just as the builder of a house has more honor than the house itself. For every house is built by someone, but the builder of all things is God. Imagine standing before an ancient house, the beams burnished by time, the stones warm with memory. You might admire the structure, trace its lines, and praise its beauty. But the longer you linger, the clearer it becomes. The house did not make itself. Behind every beam is a mind. Behind every arch, a maker. So it is with God's people. Israel honored the house as it should. Moses, the servant within. Hebrews gently lifts our chin from the stones to the architect, from the faithful servant to the faithful son. Here the Spirit invites us to see not merely continuity with Moses, but consummation in Christ, not merely a house, but the builder who made and maintains it. Hebrews 3 verses 3 to 4 shows that Christ is worthy of greater glory than Moses because he is the builder of God's house, and in him the divine creator is revealed. First, Christ's surpassing glory. Pleonos garhodos doxes para, emoisein exotai. This translates to, this one is counted worthy of more glory than Moses, Hebrews 3 verse 3. The word, doxa, means far more than outward brightness. It carries the sense of weight, honor, and lasting renown. In the Old Testament, kabod, glory, was felt like gravity, the heaviness of God's holy presence. That same richness flows into the New Testament term. Moses reflected this glory. After meeting with the Lord, his face shone with borrowed brightness, Exodus 34. But Christ radiates it by nature. Hebrews 1 verse 3 told us he is the reflection of God's glory and the exact imprint of God's very being. Moses is like the moon, luminous yet dependent on the sun. Christ is the sunrise itself, light rising, life-giving, unstoppable. Notice also the grammar, has been counted worthy. This is God's verdict, not Christ's self-assertion. He does not seize glory like a usurper. The Father declares him worthy. Reformed voices like Calvin and Schreiner remind us this is no insult to Moses. Moses was faithful and honored, but even his greatness serves as a pointer upward. His witness leads us to Christ, whose worth is incomparable. Haldane and Hodge underline the gospel logic. The servant's honor was real, but the son's glory is greater still. And this is the heart of the exhortation in verse 1. Consider Jesus. Let his glory outweigh every other weight in your life. He is not one among many, but the one above all. Second, the builder of the house. Kat ozen pleona, timain eketu oiku, ho katasku sas, atun. As much as the builder has more honor than the house. Hebrews 3 verse 3. The metaphor tightens. The house, oikos, is the covenant people. First Israel, then the church as the one household of God. But the focus is the participle, kataskoesas, the one who built, constructed, prepared. Thayer glosses, katasquadzo, as to equip, establish, and Kittle notes its use for careful, purposeful preparation. Christ is not a stone in the wall, or even a steward of the rooms. He is the artisan of the entire edifice. Barnes is pastorally acute here. We do not stand in a self-built sanctuary. The church is not the triumph of human technique, but the trace of a divine hand. Hendrickson underscores that the more honor, pleona timain, belongs to the designer whose wisdom and will give rise to the thing admired. Longenecker and Peterson stress the canonical symmetry. The one who framed the people under Moses now frames the people under the new covenant. The blueprint is fulfilled, not abandoned. Daniel Doriani puts it memorably. Our faith is not scaffolding we must keep from collapsing. It rests on a builder who does not fail. This realigns our affections. Moses is a chamber in the house, noble, necessary in his time. But the honor of even the finest room is eclipsed by the architect's mastery. So too, programs, leaders, and seasons we cherish. They are beams, not the builder. Hebrews teaches our hearts to enjoy the house while exalting the hand that made it. Third, the divine builder of all. Pagar oikos kataskoadzatai hupatinos, hordeta panta katakoasis teos. Every house is built by someone, but the builder of all things is God. 3:4. The maxim is simple, but the theology is seismic. If Christ is the builder of God's house, and the builder of all is God, then the Christological inference stands close at hand. The one who builds the covenant people bears the prerogatives of deity. F. Bruce notes that Hebrews has already prepared us for this with chapter 1. The Son is agent of creation, heir of all, the one through whom God made the ages. Moo and Schreiner read Hebrews 3 verse 4 as an echo of that overture. What God is said to do comprehensively, the Son is seen to do specifically for his people. Haldane and Hodge press the point home. This is not mere metaphor. It is messianic majesty. The Son is not within creation's house as a component. He stands over it as creator. The logic is as unyielding as it is worshipful. If the church stands at all, it stands because Christ speaks it into being and sustains it by his word. Kittle's lexical currents deep in the river, kataskuadzo, here, bears the sense not just of initial construction, but of continual provisioning. Christ not only founds, he furnishes. He not only frames, he fortifies. Calvin, with pastoral tenderness, reminds wavering souls that the same Christ who built the household bears its beams when storms beat upon it. The perseverance of the saints is not the stubbornness of the stones, but the steadfastness of the builder. Reflections for today. We live in an age that applauds houses. We tour ministries like showrooms, celebrate leaders like landmarks, and confuse the brightness of their gifts with the brilliance of the sun. Hebrews gently corrects our sight. Admire the house, do not adore it. The honor belongs to the builder. When a celebrated pastor stumbles or a movement fractures, some lose heart, as though the foundation had cracked. But the foundation was never a personality. The footing is a person. The house may shake, but the builder does not. We also inhabit a culture intoxicated with self-construction. Build your brand, build your platform, build your future. The gospel invites a different freedom. Rest in the one who builds all things. You are not a do-it-yourself project. You are a living stone set by a sovereign hand. Let that truth release you from frantic striving. Excellence. Yes. Ambition for the architect's honor, not our own? Absolutely. But there is peace in remembering you are in the house, not on the hook to hold up the roof. Congregations, too, can drift into house pride. We polish our programs, prize our history, and quietly measure our worth by square footage or streaming metrics. Hebrews whispers a better boast. Christ himself is our beauty. If our gatherings carry his word and show his love, the workmanship shines, whether in a cathedral or a rented school hall. If we lose the builder's voice, the prettiest house is only an empty shell. And for the weary saint who wonders whether the house will hold, whether your faith, fragile as it feels, can stand, hear the comfort tucked inside the claim. The builder built you, and the builder bears you. He framed your faith. He will finish it. He does not abandon his architecture midway. He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion, not because the stone is stubborn, but because the sun is strong. Conclusion. Moses shone, Christ blazes. Moses served in the house, Christ built the house. And behind it all, beneath it all, beyond it all, the builder of all things is God. To give Christ greater glory is not optional ornament, but ordered worship. The only fitting response to the apostle who descended to us and the high priest who ascended for us, the Son who stands over us, and the builder who holds us. So lift your eyes from the beams to the builder, from the servant to the Son, and let your heart say with awe and ease, Jesus is worthy of more glory.